So this is an introduction to the ACL system. So ACL, Audit Command Language, is its original name, and there's a lot of command language behind the scenes with this program. Obviously, we fire it up into the launcher. So we double-click on our icon and we launch it. This is the launcher, and here we can see the recent analytical files. So they're there. They're the files we've used to have, we've opened up previously. That's there is a drop-down that says what organisation you're working for. That's where your licence comes from, so you're getting a University of Queensland licence. Other files that it knows about, these are sample ones that it knows about, or you can open up analytical files. Here is the list of files in that directory. They happen to be the sample ones. That's where I've downloaded it from Blackboard. I can create my own project, give it a name, and off I go. Save it as an ACL. And I can join the community. If I go off and join the community, I've got access to forums, I can ask people questions, and I can get some ideas even if I just trawl the forums looking for stuff. Let's take a look beyond that main screen and go into the actual analytic project itself. So I click on Sample Project. Off it goes. We only deal with analytic projects in ACL. We don't worry about those. Other projects such as the analysis, if I go back to here, we've got analysis app. We don't do those. We just do the analytic project itself. So if I cancel that, okay, here is my sample project. This is how it looks. I've got the name of the project up here in the top left. I've got a menu bar all the way along here. We would import data through here, so we can do a number of different importations from other systems. We could import from a database itself. Data, what's it doing? Okay, I can go off and use some ODBC connectors, etc., to collect into other databases. I'm not going to be doing that. Haven't done that since the mid-90s, because now you really just mostly connect up using Excel. Where are we? Okay, that there is our navigator. These are all of our data that we have gathered from our client. Here's accounts payable. Okay, here's vendor details. Cancel that, get rid of that view. Go back to the default view. Accounts receivable, got some bad files, okay, which I think is bad debts, inventory, payroll, workspaces. We primarily work in the tables area, so let's just collapse all those back up. During the tutorials, we'll go through cycle by cycle to do what we're going to do. Here's a log. With this log, I can see everything that I have done in the database. So if I click on that, you will need to store these logs. You will need to put them into your ACL assignment in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to fire up a notebook, notepad, Control V, and I can just paste that into Notepad. I might just try WordPad. Should give me a slightly neater looking output. Okay, WordPad gives me a log of everything I did. So whatever I do inside ACL is recorded and logged, and I can use that at any time. So I'll go back to our navigator. That was our navigator. We have as well the command line up the top. So there's a command line. I can put commands into that. What I can do, for example, what I'm going to do is give me the sale price, give me an analysis, give me a, I want to know the number of times that we go for product number, analyze duplicates. enter the output file name. I want to put it to the screen. Okay. Okay, there are the duplicates. Okay. Now, whenever you see an output in ACL, you're going to see this command. That firstly should appear in our log. There's our log. Okay. So you can go back and you can rerun this thing whenever you like. Okay. So I'm going to go back to here, rerun it. I've rerun the same thing that I ran before. I can pick up the command. Okay, if I pick up, can I just select all? No. I have to get in there and copy it from here, copy it from the log, go back to my data. Okay, I'll clear that command line and I'll paste it back in there. Really, that didn't work. Go back to my log. That's the command line there that I need. Go back to overview. Go to what table was I in? Let's just check. Control V. Okay, I need to find what table that is. Vendor table. No. Bad file. Okay. Paste in that command that I copied from the log file, and I get that response back. So I can type in my commands. If I know the command language backwards, I can use that, or I can go through the menu. Close both of those down, go back to AP Trans. This is your big file. I can also use this filter bar, filter and quick search. I go to here, and I want to pick up all of the amounts over $500. So I just double clicked on invoice amount. That put the text into there. I could have typed it larger than 500, verify, click OK. And that gives me a report of all the ones that have an invoice amount more than $500. And I could do that for the date. I could do that for any number of things. I could also just redo this, analyze, look for duplicates. There's the duplicates. All these people here had more than one transaction against them. I'll close that. Now I can, if I go to vendor, see how it swaps from AP Trans to vendor? Go back to AP Trans, I'll pin it, put a pin in it, open up vendor. So now I can swap between the two. Vendor is sticking around until I go to customer, and I can pin that again and go to vendor. Okay. Unpin AP Trans. We have indexes over here. We can create indexes on a field, and when we create that index, we end up allowing the system to find that data more quickly. It creates a list, puts them in order, and the computer uses that to find the row we want. This has got 102 rows in it, not a lot, but some tables do have a bit more. That's got 339. Customer's got 64. 500. 152. Payroll. 42. 11. I'm looking down here at the status bar. And that's a script. Okay, so this is not a large, by any stretch, database. Now, if I look at all of this, let's take a look at the command dialog box. Let's go back to AP Trans. I'll close payroll test. Here's my AP Trans. Let's do a summarize command. So a summarize command, you know, there's a lot of power in all of this. If I pick this quantity, for example, I'm going to, what do I want to do? I want to pick up invoice amount, okay? And if I do analyze and I just do profile, that gives me an understanding of the data range. I can, what might I do? Histogram, let's do a histogram. So that's a histogram of all of our transactions. Immediately I can see we have a lot in that range. Up the top end, I've only really got one, should be able to double click on it and see it. So one very large invoice amount. There's my histogram, and I can double click on that and it will take me through to a subset of those as well. You can save a view once you know that these are the ones I want to go looking at. Okay. And that's giving me everything that I can save my view. Okay. See that there? I can save that. Just sort that descending. Yep, okay. So it has given me a subset of everything in that view. If I go back to this default view, I clear that, and I've got, go back to my hit list. Okay. I can see my range there. In the example in the tutorial, we do the summarize command, which is this one. So I'm going to get rid of, I'll just leave the defaults there for a moment. Invoice amount, quantity, unit cost, invoice amount, quantity, unit cost. All right. In this tab here, I can summarize on. These. Other fields, so I can drag invoice number across, double click to do that, or I can highlight that, or across like that, click OK. I can give me these statistics down here. These are all of my options. I can choose an if, so I could sort using a similar sort of command that I had before. Larger than 500. Verify checks your expression is valid. It doesn't tell you it's giving you the right thing. It just tells you that it will produce something. So it's filtered, pre-sort as part of the indexing. We're going to summarize on invoice amount. So we've got the main up here. So here we're setting up everything that matters for the report. Under the more, we can actually choose a couple of different things. Scope, is it, how many records is it? Select until we find the thing we want. Use output table, which means that it's going to go to a table, file type ACL table, or I can turn that off and I can put it to a file. All right. That's putting it to a file. That's probably what I want to go here. I'll put it to an output table. Let's do that. Call it MSA test. And let's click OK. That's the sub filter. That's the sub file. So it's an extract that I've created. Okay. Now, I don't want to save my changes. And in fact, I'll right click that and I will delete it. Let's go on. If I go back to my log, so there's my log showing I deleted it. This is my summarize command. That's the summarize. So I can just rerun that if I wanted to. I will copy it go back to here. Click on that and double click on it, brings it back up into the dialog box. I will put it to output to the screen. And so it's just a report. I can pick up this invoice amount, click on that, and it drills me through to where I want to go. It's quite powerful as far as that's concerned. Really good to understand your data, spend some time playing with it, working with it. There's your More tab and your Output tab. If you want to, you can put that to a table, or you put it to a table, you can put it to a file. There's my command there. I double click that, brings up my dialog box again, and output, I've got to put it to a file. So I've got to turn that's already off, click output, send it to a file, click on that name, which will give me a builder, which will tell me that I can put it to this spot here. I'll just call it Michael's RC report. Save and OK. And one method record. Let's have a look at my directory here, OneDrive. Michael's RC report is a .fill, which is only opened up by special programs, one of which is ACL. But at that point, we have gone through a whole bunch of the interface, and it's worth your while to learn more about it. Most of it's the assignment, and it will be on the exam. And note particularly, all of the work that I have done is logged inside the system, even little breaks during the day. So it recognised that I had logged out and logged back in, and so that's a session. And I can copy just that bit underneath it. That's what I want. Copy, go to WordPad, paste it, and that's all of my material there. And save that for now. I need to click that off if I just wanted that section there. Try that again. Copy, WordPad, paste, and that's what I've got there. Okay, so see how that's produced Michael's lousy report. I can run that again anytime, and it will create the same output. So that's an introduction to ACL, worth having a play. That will be the tutorials of this week.